by Dish Network with John McEnroe, Mary Carrillo, Dick Enberg, Bill and Patrick will be joining us along with Mary Jo Fernandez as we go to the second set. Djokovic was serving after Federer took only 25 minutes to grab the opening set 6-3. 25 minutes.
So far, the defending champion has done nothing but attack. Just a magnificent first set for him. The cleanest half hour of his U.S. Open experience so far.
A high level of play, the quality that we've come to expect from Federer all the time.
Well, he also has gotten to 18 straight Grand Slam semis for a reason, an ability to assess an opponent rather quickly. And I think he saw how flat Djokovic was, and it allowed him to sort of feel like he didn't have to, go for anything extraordinary, just sort of get into his groove, play his game. And he just came out and just, it's like now the match is going to start, perhaps. There was never a question in that first set to me who was going to win it. Djokovic needs and knows, he has enough experience to know that he has to step it up now and start to get his mind out there on the court.
Well, the way Federer is serving, Djokovic has to protect his own. As Federer takes place at the other end, 5 games, he's allowed 4 points on his serve. It's
almost as if he's afraid to show any emotion, Djokovic, in the fear that he's going to get either rile up his fans or hear some booing. He never heard that level of booing before. Never, even close.
USOpen.org, your exclusive online home for real-time scores. IBM brings the best coverage of the U.S. Open to you online and on your mobile phones as well. Visit USOpen.org. Look at those numbers on the service line. Pretty close to perfect so far.
He set a standard so far that's going to be awful tough to keep up. You expect Djokovic to step it up. I mean, he's got at least another gear or two. It's just in terms of what he can play a lot better and mentally give a lot more. Even there, to me, if he wants to show Federer something, he should have made more of an effort for that last volley. It was a bit of a miss hit by Roger, but he had basically given up on it. And had he not given up on it in his mind, that previous shot, he probably could have at least tracked that down. He's just not, his legs aren't moving yet.
And the Swiss master giving very few openings.
He's just so with it right now, Roger Federer.
And it takes a big-time forehand down the line to earn a point for Djokovic.
Well, he has a big-time forehand. Said, wait a minute, did that go over? And I think it bounced on your side first, but he had fun with it, which is a good to see. It was a perfect passing shot from Djokovic, nice and low. I don't think that counts yet. Maybe in a couple of years, if it's because it's so hard. Maybe
they just replayed it on the big screen here, and Federer, the fans laughed again. By the way, the big screen here, Andy Murray the other day wanted it turned off because he didn't like seeing himself up in the replay. They did not go along with that here.
first time, it's Djokovic in a game on the Federer serve.
The wake-up call might have just come here in this second set. He's starting to hit the ball with more authority and start to impose that power. I mean, it's arguable that he's got more of that than Federer. That's such a well-played point. Both guys. Djokovic had a ball or two earlier in the rally he could have come in on. That one, he had lost his balance when he hit the backhand and then tried to charge. Roger, too much space there, but excellent point. Not as easy to take the big swings and to be as aggressive for Federer now, who sees that Djokovic is finding his game and hitting through the court with that big forehand. He's really moving now.
Just missed.
It's nice to see two guys, these great players, strength against strength, you know, just trading their best shots.
Another big Djokovic forehand, third deuce.
Rogers has struggled because of his mono with his footwork and felt his half-step slow. In terms of court coverage, most of this year and into this event, you would have to say that Djokovic can move around that court a little bit better. And he's a little taller, an inch or two taller.
Also, the movement of Federer, the compromised movement this year has affected Federer's best shot, his forehand. It's working better for him today, behaving much better than it has throughout the tournament. Because when his timing's a little off, when he's not quite to the ball the way he wants, the way he swings, it's such a vicious racket speed he's got on his forehand side. If he's a little off, it shows up on his forehand.
Ace to complete the game. It's 1-all. First game to have deuces in the match. Well, the forehand so effective in the first set. Let's take a look at our ExxonMobil Swing Vision.
He's got excellent preparation, and when he can, he wants to lean forward so that he gets even more weight behind his shot. And he's got unbelievable control because he uses a lighter frame and these strings that allow him to hit the ball with incredible spin. And he's got, you know, more variety to his game than Djokovic, and that's what he's going to use here, try to use to get to this US Open final for the 5th straight year. And he's also better at net than Djokovic, and it'll be interesting to see you know, how this match progresses if he decides to move in more. So far, he hasn't needed to. Got an easy first set, but you can see that Djokovic is clearly playing better now these first couple games of the second.
7 straight points for Djokovic on his serve in this set.
14-15.
How many times have we seen Roger hit that return, daring an opponent to come in, whether it's Roddick, Djokovic, Nadal earlier in his career. Nadal has made a nice adjustment, improving that part of his game, that approach shot and his volley play. It's too given away. It never looked like he was going to take a big swing at it, so Roger wasn't threatened. If you take a look at this replay here, see, the ball was too close to his body, so even if he had taken a swing, he wasn't really in a position to crack it. So Roger could lean forward.
Djokovic holds. They're on serve in the second. Federer won the opening set 6. Roger Federer 6-3 in the opening set. They're on serve. Federer 1-2 here in the second. Semifinals of the US Open as Roger Federer once again has advanced to this stage of a major championship 18 straight times.
Low 15.
Often disconcerting to a server when you hit a good serve, the ball is completely mishit, but it lands on the line and you end up losing the point. That's what happened to Roger there. Very quick to move in, however, and didn't do enough with the volley. And Djokovic, with that athletic ability, was able to stop on a dime here. This point looked over, but hit it back to him, gave him a chance, and he's lost 2 points now he should have won.
Best chance for Djokovic to break Federer, love 30.
That's what I was talking about a couple games ago. Federer is better able to improvise and take the ball early and really hurt you with an approach shot. So quick to take that ball up above the net was a perfect move.
Earning 2 break points.
Watch how fast he moves in here so that he doesn't give himself a tougher shot. Finally has a chance to break serve.
Djokovic takes the lead in the second set, 3-1.
Djokovic leads 3-1. Second set.
Well, just when you thought things couldn't get any worse. Worst Week, a new comedy premiering Monday, September 22nd here on CBS.
These last 4 games is the level that Andy Roddick saw from the beginning in his match. Djokovic has shown up here now. This is the guy who won the Australian Open and was in the finals here last year. Just needed to step it up in the second set, and that's exactly what he's done.
15 low.
Djokovic winning 3 titles this year after the Australian victory. One on the hard courts at Indian Wells and then on clay in Rome. Roger, no hard court wins, only 2 titles. Remarkable, the Serbs training as youngsters in Belgrade and then moving to various countries for their advanced tennis work. Djokovic, one of those. There's not a hard court in the country. Elena Jankovic with a chance at the women's title. She'll be playing tonight against Serena Williams.
Because of that incredible flexibility, the arc he gets on his serve, he's able to twist in seemingly impossible positions. And this makes that life miserable for a returner when he gets into a groove.
Djokovic consolidates his lead, 4-1 in the second. CBS Sports.
Especially for Roger Federer, and he plays such a precise game, and conditions like this are really allowing him to move well and set himself up for his big swings.
And a love game for Federer. 4-2 Djokovic here in the second. A reminder, Tuesday on CBS, it's the rock fashion show of the year.
Have a
we're
look here.
Well, that's some fashion here too.
Well, have a look at the footwork of Federer. It's allowing him to move so well that he's able to get around and give himself time to go for his winners, not just on his forehand side. Watch how beautifully he moves to his backhand here. And that's something he's been struggling with. It's nice. Again, the conditions on this semifinal day are certainly helping him as well.
Slow motion on CBS, adding a nice element to our coverage. Federer's fault to open this game. His first. Love 30 opening for Federer.
Well, you know what's coming. When you hit that kick to Roger's back and he's going to chip it. Djokovic likes to pull that forehand up the line, but that's where Roger on the run is so great, pulling that forehand cross court, and then it puts suddenly Djokovic in a defensive position, which he didn't like. And he went for too much, and he's now down love 30.
Three missed first serves for Djokovic in this game.
That's where Federer is thinking, look, if I chip the ball back, there's a good chance Djokovic is going to take the offensive with his forehand, run around and hit a big shot. I'm going to try to come over it, so I'm going to allow him to do that. But it's more of a risk for him, a lower percentage play, especially when it kicks up high.
30.
And you know Djokovic is to try to zero in on it again, and in addition, it skids off the line and made a very tough chance for Federer to even return that.
Pleased you're with us live on CBS. It's noon here in the East. Early start of this first semifinal because of the threatening weather forecast. Instead of a 1 o'clock start, 11 o'clock this morning, Federer and Djokovic took court. And with that beautiful one-handed backhand, Federer a point to break back.
Well, he went for an angle, Djokovic, but it wasn't a good enough one. There really wasn't very much on that. And that court, that down the line was open. Roger just saw that, took advantage. It was just a beautiful looking shot by him.
serve in the second. Appears that last game opened with a double fault. Too often an ugly omen of what's to come. So Federer back on course in the second, leading by a set.
Too often in this event, Djokovic has had leads and let it slip away. And in big tournaments where he's been able to, or unable to finish off opponents when he's had the opportunity. That's cost him late in events. Wimbledon last year, he had a default in the second set, or 2 sets into the match with Nadal because he was spent. And he seemed to learn from that in Australia, because he ran through that tournament. They're only the loss of 1 set. But
how about this execution?
Well, that's where all that work after a match, where he spends an hour, stretching out. All the work he does off the court.
Federer caught the line twice.
That's the shot to me, that Djokovic backhand up the line, that would help him win it if he starts hitting this well. And he did hit this one well, but Federer's, the way he can get that racket speed to just pull it cross court, that is unbelievably hard to do.
Serve and volley pays off.
30-15.
Last year's final, Djokovic had that look like he was happy to be there. And perhaps that was part of why he didn't win, because he wasn't quite believing. Then he went to Australia, won that. Then he thought he was in the big boys club. And now I'm looking at him so far, wondering how much he wants to be there, how deep he's going to dig in this match.
Game Federer.
Federer holds 4-all in the second.
4 against all. Second set.
ExxonMobil swing vision. And the backhand of Djokovic.
It's similar to Nadal in the sense that they're able to use their off foot, their back foot, to plant, and then use their left hand to produce some speed, racket head speed and power. And these are shots that you just don't think people can do anything with.
Now here's a big game for Novak Djokovic. His lead evaporating, and it's now 4-all, down a set for him. Djokovic in this set serving only 43%. 45% for the match.
Love 13.
He's getting hurt out when he's hitting second serves against Roger Federer.
Now his first serve's 73%, but when he doesn't make good on that first serve, he's paying the price.
The truth is, he's paying a price. It's not about what his first serve percentage is. It's about what air he's giving off, and it's a negative one. And Federer is just chewing it up now. Took the first set easily. He sensed that again now here as they moved into the second, even though Djokovic had that good start. And he's in a good position to pull this out here.
15-13.
Double fault to start the last game when broken by Federer. Throws in a double here in this game. 15-30.
30 all.
I saw him in the summer, struggling, Djokovic, and even into the Olympics. And when he does get himself out of trouble, often it's because he's got that beautiful serve. And he can win a lot of points off it. He surely needs it right now to get out of this game and regroup and get this lead back. It's 3 first serves, get him back in
40-30.
position to pull this game out.
Well, 6 points in this game, the 3 in which he was able to put his first serve in play, he won. The 3 points where he had to serve the second ball, Federer won. Underlining Djokovic's challenge in this match. First serve in, point to Djokovic.
Advantage Djokovic.
Well, it's an excellent point, Dick, because it allows him to step into that first ground stroke and stay ahead in a point.
Well, he bailed out a love 30, holds for 5-4 in the second. Threatening Saturday afternoon here in the East. Heavy weather conditions all along the Atlantic seaboard. Fortunate thus far as Federer wins the opening set 6-3 and now serves at 4-5 in the second. Ace number 7. Federer throughout his career as a great champion has always seemed to do the right thing, even coming here to New York. He's not number 1 after 4.5 years. Nadal has taken that top spot, but he played that off positively, saying, well, maybe now that I'm not number 1, the New York fans will show me more love, won't root for the other man. Well, they certainly have accepted that challenge and seem to be very much in his corner.
And he also said that if someone was going to take the #1 rank, and I want to be someone who did something great and who was a class guy. So he paid his respects to Nadal there as well.
Holds it low for 5-all.
5-game second set.
He's not exactly a booable guy, no matter how he's doing on the court. And I honestly don't feel the New York fans ever cheered against Roger Federer.
No, not too much. They did cheer for the underdog, maybe.
Maybe, but even then, I mean, we've all been so dazzled by Roger Federer so often at this tournament. I don't know that he's ever felt anything but love here.
But accentuated even more so this year as he goes for 5 in a row.
When he played Agassi that final here a couple years back, and people sensed, obviously, that was Andre's last great chance. They really rallied, and but it's more what you said, pulling for Andre
right,
as opposed to against Roger, for sure.
Trouble spot Djokovic. Double fault opening point here at 5-all. coach of Novak Djokovic, Marion Vaida, played here in this U.S. Open Championship 6 times. They've been together now for 2 years.
His movement was excellent there, Roger. Unfortunately, that backhand he hit after
13-15.
hovering around that baseline was too short, and it gave that Djokovic that angle he needed.
Ash Stadium court, largest in tennis, 23,712 filling in for the men's semifinals.
They put these guys out first. You got both these guys play Thursday. Djokovic Thursday night. Murray, Nadal, they played Wednesday, so they had a couple days off. Yet they're scheduled to follow. Federer
will serve for a tiebreak when we come back to New York. Semi-final. Djokovic had an early break here in the second, but lost that advantage. It's 5-6 as we look at the difference between winners and unforced errors.
Well, Roger was incredibly sharp that first set. Accounted for most of that.
Federer serving for the tiebreak to decide this second set. Defense from Djokovic rewarded.
We saw Jankovic yesterday play this great defense. Similarly, Novak making Roger hit a couple extra shots. He was already running for this one. It was, and I think Roger may have seen him moving forward, so he tried to cut it a little too close.
Against someone who can move as well as Djokovic, you really just want to hit one volley.
Suddenly, Novak Djokovic is 2 points from leveling this match at a set all.
He was 4-1 up. He let it slip, but gathered himself 4-all love 30, pulled out of that game, and he's got his chance now to. It's a whole new ball game. Did so well against Roddick the other night. Just blocked that serve back like Roger's done to many opponents. He's got 3 set points.
And a year ago it was Djokovic who had a handful of set points in the first and second set tiebreaks, couldn't convert. Let's see if he can make good here. 3 chances for the set.
By the way, the wind has really started to kick up here. There could be some rain in our very near future.
He went for it. 2 set points remain.
Sometimes you think you have love 40, you can afford to do that, but against a guy with the credentials, the caliber of Roger, that's risky because he could,
especially because he's serving.
Yeah, exactly. Get a couple big serves, and next thing you know, it's deuce. And given the fact that Roger had made a couple pretty easy errors, you would have thought Novak would have not just let that happen, that last point. It was this 3rd set point.
2 of 3 for the finals of the US Open. Tied a set all.